Good morning. It is nothing like a good old Jamaican breakfast, okay? So this morning we are going to be making ackee and saltfish. That is Jamaica's national dish, and it's a wonderful breakfast that we're going to have on this lovely Sunday morning. This is what the saltfish looks like. And to get started, we are going to soak our saltfish. It's corned fish, like it's been sitting in salt, so it's you want to soak it a little bit just to get a little bit of the salt out, so that when you're eating it, it's not overly powerful in salt. So you can either soak it or you can choose to boil it and dump the water. Which we're gonna boil it anyway, but you can just boil it maybe a couple times, or you can simply just soak it overnight and it should be perfect in the morning. In my case, I'm gonna boil it. Okay guys, so now that we have our saltfish all boiled and I have ran it under some cold water, so now we're gonna basically debone it. And you boil it for about 30 minutes. And then now you're going to just take off the fish and just take off the bones and separate that part. So as you can see here, that comes off. And this is the meat. This is the part you're going to cook with the ackee. And we're going to discard of the carcass, the bones. I'm just going to break it down into small pieces. Just trying to remove all the bones. I'm just going to break the meat apart. Now, you cannot do this unless you boil it. It's not as soft until, so you have to boil it in order to separate it, okay? To get it soft, and you have to separate it like this. You can't separate it with it in the form that it comes. That's your saltfish, and that's what you're going to use in your ackee and saltfish. And this is what your saltfish looks like, deboned. So this morning we're going to pair our ackee and saltfish with some fried dumplings. Now all you need is some all-purpose flour, some baking powder, and some salt, okay? Then I'm gonna show you guys how to knead it. So let's get into the things that we're going to need to put into our ackee and saltfish. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna cut up some tomatoes. We're gonna cut up some onions and some sweet peppers, red, yellow, whatever your favorites are. And then the pepper is optional. This pepper is really hot. And we keep them in the freezer just so they won't go bad. But that's optional. But we like our things a little spicy around here, so we're gonna go ahead and add some pepper in our ackee and saltfish. And we're gonna get these things going. Okay, so let's get this ackee and saltfish on the road. We're gonna go ahead, we're gonna pour our oil. Regular vegetable oil is good, guys. Or you can use olive oil, whatever your favorite oil may be. Okay, guys. Now that our oil is hot, we're gonna go ahead and add our saltfish. Peppers, our tomato, and our hot pepper. And then we are going to stir. Okay, so we're gonna let this cook halfway. We're not gonna let it cook all the way down. We're just gonna let it cook for maybe about 5 minutes to let all the flavors and everything blend together. And then we are going to rinse our canned ackee in some boiled water. We're just gonna run some boiled water over our canned ackee just to take off the preservative that's inside of the can before we add it to this mixture. And this is what our canned ackee looks like. And honestly, guys, if prepared properly, it tastes just as if you had the real thing. This is what the real ackee looks like in Jamaica. And typically what we would do if we were making fresh ackee is that we would boil it over. We would boil it in some water to get it soft. But the ackee in the can is pretty much already pre-cooked. So all we're doing is just rinsing it off, throwing some hot water over it to take off the preservative, and just going ahead and adding it to our saltfish and vegetables. I believe we're now ready for our canned ackee. This is pretty much what the consistency should look like. So here we're just going to pour our canned ackee in some boiling salt water. And again, just to kind of get the preservatives over it for about 2 minutes, not long at all. You're not going to really reboil it. And we're just going to drain the water off. As you can hear my baby girl in the background, not trying to make us be great. Okay, and now we're going to go ahead and pour in our ackee. We're going to mix everything together. So now you're going to turn your fire down to a simmer. And all you need is some lovely old black pepper. And you can give it another swirl. You don't want to stir your ackee up too much because you don't want it to be broken apart, you know, too bad. But all you need is some black pepper, and that is smelling good to me. Yum. Now let me get into these dumplings so y'all can see what we're going to eat this with. So now we're going to go ahead and knead this flour. We're going to bring it together. We're going to knead it together to make our dumplings, our fried dumplings. So we're just going to add water to the mixture. Remember, we have baking powder and salt in the flour. And we're just going to mix it until it gets to a doughy consistency. So maybe like, definitely thicker than pancake batter. We're gonna say maybe like about like a biscuit, like if you're making bread or a biscuit. And this is the end product of bringing everything together. Kneading my flour with my water, baking powder, and salt. So what we're gonna do now is I'm going to separate this into little balls, and then we're gonna fry them in some vegetable oil. Vegetable oil is what you guys saw me use today in with the saltfish, as well as what I'm gonna fry my dumplings in. So we're gonna have some plantains with our ackee and saltfish as well this morning. Let's go ahead and show you how to cut this plantain. And there's many ways you can cut this, but this is just one of our favorite ways to cut this plantain up for frying. And it's just as the dumpling, we're just gonna add it to our vegetable oil and let it fry until it gets golden brown. All right, so now that our oil is hot, we are going to go ahead and add our fried dumplings. And you just roll them in the best balls that you can and kind of flatten them a little bit and just add them. Dumplings don't have to be perfect. Listen, as long as they taste good, okay? Just let them do their thing. We got action. They are smelling delicious, guys. We're gonna fry these things for like 2 more minutes, and then we're gonna take them off. Boom, boom, bam. Place them in a bowl with a napkin to just let the oil drain. So now we're going to use our same oil, same pot, and we're going to add our plantains in. And I'm gonna go ahead and turn these, guys. You know, you still want them to have that golden look, the golden color. So what's the trick to fry plantains? So when you're frying plantains, you definitely, well, not frying, when you're choosing your plantain, the riper the plantain, the sweeter it's going to be. So it's kind of like a thing where you have to, as you choose plantains on a regular, you start to know and see what the best plantains are. So because they're like black and bruised, doesn't mean that they're old. Sometimes that's the best time if you like your plantains to be sweeter. Sometimes when they're just like yellow without any blacking or bruising, they may not be fully ripe. So you might get them to be a little bit less sweet and they might be a little bit more firm. So sometimes they're a little bit more beat up than they are. Sometimes actually the better they are. So that's just for those who like their plantains to be sweeter than not so sweet. And these are almost done, guys. We're just gonna, you know, allow them to, I'm gonna spread them out a little bit. So they're not in the middle of the heat. Put these ones in there. And here we are with our perfectly golden fried plantains and dumplings. Getting ready to plate this and to serve it and have a lovely breakfast. And voila! We just paired this with the 2 slices of avocado. And here is your lovely Jamaican breakfast. Now, don't just watch this video, guys. Let me know, let me see your best attempt at making this dish, okay? For you guys that's in Michigan, you all can find all of these ingredients at K&F Market, located in Oak Park on 9 Mile. And you can find your ackee, your saltfish, your plantains, all of that stuff. So go ahead and show me your best rendition. Tag me in your Instagram and all of that stuff so I can see what you guys are doing. Feel free to ask me any questions. Please comment on this video. Let me know what you guys thought, what I could have done differently. And make sure you share it with your friends and your family, or for anyone that's looking to cook something different in your household. And we are getting ready to smash, guys. I am hungry. Ciao. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you.